In the previous episode, we saw a Titanoboa attack Qin Tian. He ran away and the Titanoboa chased him. Later, they entered boar territory. To save his life, he dived into boar dung. Later, Ellen found Qin Tian with the panda. They left the area with the panda. Later, an eagle took their food, so they set up a trap and caught the eagle. They tamed it and named it Sand Eagle. They later went into the mountains to save a baby eagle, and Ellen named it Xiao Bai. They noticed an airplane, and Qin Tian decided to check the situation. The next day, Qin Tian visited the crash site with Sand Eagle, and he heard the pilot's voice coming from behind him. Meanwhile, she exclaims that there are crocodiles. Qin Tian can see some mugger crocodiles chasing her. He goes inside the plane and extends his arm. The woman grabs his hand and climbs the plane. They stumble down inside the cockpit and Qin Tian can't help but blush in front of a beauty with her cushion stuck on him. The crocodiles shake the plane with their tails and Qin Tian feels the woman's cushions again. They check the ground and see the crocodiles attacking the plane. Qin Tian wonders why they are so aggressive. He tries to attack them but rock arrows are ineffective against them. They hide and Qin Tian then tries to target their eyes but they are too small as a target. His attack just made the crocodile angry and it won't take long for the plane to get destroyed. Just then Qin Tian uses the system. He got tons of points now and looks for a suitable power for the current situation. Just when he decided to buy the Sagittarius talent, the woman suggests burning the crocodiles. Seeing alcohol, Qin Tian stops her and claims that alcohol is extremely important. Qin Tian asks for the lighter and the woman willingly gives it away. Qin Tian then proceeds to buy a superpower. He activates it but he can't feel anything compared to the cheetah skill. The crocodiles are getting rowdy again. Qin Tian applies pine oil to the arrowhead and lights it up. He uses his skill and it looks like he is in an FPS game. He also got a sight marker and a ruler. He adjusts his position and fires the arrow, hitting the crocodile's eye. Qin Tian continues shooting as the woman helps him with the arrows. He shoots the rest of the crocodiles and the beasts scamper away. The woman shouts that Qin Tian is her hero. Qin Tian introduces himself and asks for the woman's name. She introduces herself as Jessica Hathaway. She asks where they are. Qin Tian asks her to slow down because his English is not good. Jessica wonders what kind of Asian Qin Tian is and thinks he might be Chinese, but all she met before got long beards. Qin Tian asks if Jessica has a mobile phone, but Jessica only knows the telephone. The two just realize that communication is hard. Night comes and Qin Tian finds canned food on the plane. Jessica opens it in an old manner. Qin Tian discovers the expiration date goes back to 1928. Jessica wonders if there is anything wrong and Qin Tian hopes he can tell that it is expired. Jessica tells him not to worry because it is beef. Qin Tian can taste that. The food is okay. The two got full with a spoonful. Feeling tired they retire for the night. The morning comes and Qin Tian notices Jessica boiling water. He can't believe she has a lot of things in her bag like Doraemon. Qin Tian brings out meat and suggests cooking pork soup. After their meal the two try to converse but a language barrier exists. Qin Tian can only show Jessica the rough mapping of the island. Qin Tian thought of having Ellen talk to Jessica, so he invited her to their camp. He feels bad leaving usable parts of the plane out. Just then Jessica notices the Sand Eagle and panics. Qin Tian tells her not to worry because it is his pet. They start traveling but encounter thick smoke midday. Even Sand Eagle doesn't have any idea. Jessica then asks for a break, while Qin Tian wonders when the smoke will go away. Jessica falls unconscious. Qin Tian can also feel that he is getting tired. There might be something in the smoke. Qin Tian crawls toward Jessica. Jessica's symptoms are quite severe while Qin Tian can still move his hands. He grabs Jessica's lighter and rummages through her bag. A medicine box is among the things in the bag. However, Qin Tian can't read English. He then notices an electric box. He also brings out some other things along with his bamboo tube. Qin Tian connected everything and came up with an electrolysis apparatus. The oxygen produced from the process is then passed to Jessica through a tube. Jessica soon regains consciousness and Qin Tian mentions that the smoke is methane. The two alternately use the oxygen tube as they traverse the methane fog. They see the end point and finally get out of it. They finally get to breathe fresh air. It is getting late and the two are still not fully recovered, so they set up camp. Meanwhile at the camp, Ellen is having trouble with the raccoon's fish for Little Eagle. Meal is now less plentiful. Shellbite chirps and Ellen gives it a fish. Ellen worries for Qin Tian and decides to look for him. The next day just then Little Eagle chirps, as it sees its parents. Seeing Sand Eagle, Qin Tian is back for sure. Ellen gets excited to see Qin Tian but seeing Jessica surprises her more. Qin Tian wonders if Ellen misses him after 3 days. Qin Tian introduces Jessica to Ellen and asks her to communicate with the foreigner. The two immediately kick off a conversation in Chinese. The confused Qin Tian wonders why Jessica is speaking in Chinese now. Jessica blames Qin Tian for trying to speak in broken English and not revealing his nationality. We all agree that Qin Tian is at fault. That night the three had a long discussion. The two Chinese learns that Jessica is a paleontologist who travels around the world. She heard of a nose-walking beast and immediately flew off toward the South Pacific. However, she encountered a storm and crashed on this island. It turns out Jessica is not from a rescue team. At least Qin Tian can now pinpoint their current location with Jessica's information and they can start making a boat. Ellen wonders why Jessica is not worried about crashing on a deserted island. Well, the paleontologist's spirit is burning with passion and excitement. Her scary eyes are enough to cut open the panda and study him. Qin Tian asks this time if Jessica is not worried. She claims not because the two mention making a boat to escape the island, and the discovery of how non-cats and individuals on this island is one of the greatest discoveries of the 20th century. Ellen corrects her saying that it is the 21st century. Jessica claims that would be 70 years ahead of them and wonders if the Republic of China is using a different calendar. Qin Tian claims that it is now the People's Republic of China. Jessica wonders if it is a change of regime again. The two Chinese get offended. Jessica apologizes and asks to be corrected instead. Qin Tian then tells her about the establishment of the People's Republic of China in 1949. Jessica claims that it is still 1927. Qin Tian and Ellen are shocked. Qin Tian can see that Jessica is not lying, taking into account the old plane and the canned foods manufacturing date. Jessica then asks what year it is and he unsurprises her by telling her that it is 2020 for them. Jessica then elaborates on what happened until she encountered the storm. Ellen claims that they also encountered a storm. Qin Tian thinks the storm might be a passage of time and space. The topic of time travel is heavy for them because they won't know the way back knowing that there are prehistoric and dangerous animals out there. Qin Tian suggests focusing on protecting themselves and improving their quality of life. Jessica wonders if Panda can also time travel, but Qin Tian finds it impossible since he has also seen a Titan python. As a paleontologist, Jessica knows that such creatures should have lived in a different era and couldn't live in the forest's refreshing temperature and conditions. Ellen then explains that they have encountered two heavy rains which can explain how a Titan python can live in the area. Qin Tian and Ellen just hope it won't come through their front door. Ellen then tells Qin Tian and Jessica to rest while she does the night watch. Jessica wants to make it clear if Qin Tian and Ellen are lovers. The two shyly deny and Jessica asks if Ellen is pursuing Qin Tian because she is interested in sleeping in the same bed as Qin Tian. While Ellen also sleeps on a separate bed, Jessica claims she already likes Qin Tian after seeing his heroic acts during her rescue. Ellen is clearly jealous and frustrated. Qin Tian then tells Jessica to calm down and explains how everything should start purely with getting to know each other based on Chinese culture. Jessica then starts flirting with him. Flustered Qin Tian then retires for the night and encloses himself in a sleeping bag. Ellen feels glad but suddenly gets threatened by Jessica's stripping. She is surprised at how open Americans are. She then checks on something and sees Qin Tian watching everything. Jessica says hi to her audience. Ellen scolds Qin Tian while the pets know how their master should be punished. Morning comes and Ellen gives Qin Tian a humble breakfast. Jessica wonders if Qin Tian upset her, but Ellen is only teasing our poor boy. Jessica can see that Ellen also likes him. Jessica knows that Chinese people are polygamous and she offers the first wife's seat and big room to Ellen. Jessica feels this is a bit tricky. Ellen goes to Qin Tian and asks for a big room. She gets flustered after saying that. The three later discuss their future plans. The first stage is they need to explore and learn about the whole island. With Qin Tian talent, he made barricades against the feisty boars. He also intends to capture some boars and raise them in captivity to ensure food for winter. They also need more resources, especially iron, to create nails to hold the boat in place. The second stage is shipbuilding, which might take years to achieve. Jessica then brings out the contents of his bag to check if there is something useful. Ellen notices a dress and Jessica tells her to try it on. Jessica also has iron tools that are useful. The next day Qin Tian checks the bamboo forest with Panda. Soon after, Sand Eagle discovers something. Qin Tian arrives at the dunghill side and still can't believe. He dove into it before he tests it out and discovers soil nitrate. He collects some dung to make black powder in the future. He goes back to the camp where Jessica prepared a container for the nitrate soil. While preparing things, Qin Tian tells Ellen to guide Jessica around the camp. With a lot of nitrate soil prepared, Qin Tian starts cooking them, and the evaporated water and viscous nitrate start precipitating on the bottom. They filter out what is needed until they obtain potassium nitrate. It was a tiring day, so they had their fill first. After that, Qin Tian now obtains potassium nitrate charcoal and sulfur powders. He estimated the amount for each component and mixed them together. Ellen wonders what Qin Tian is doing. Qin Tian lights up the mixed powder and it explodes. They succeeded in making black powder. Jessica then suggests making a bomb immediately. They start preparing dried soil and dried bamboo for the bomb. Black powder is wrapped in a slightly damped paper and Qin Tian starts making layers in the bamboo. Here is the anatomy of their homemade bomb. The girls are surprised at how Qin Tian can easily make a bomb. He laughs as he recalls the pranks that he was a part of when he was still a kid. Unbearable memories indeed. Soon after, Qin Tian tells the girls to back off and he throws a lighted bomb outside of the camp area. It explodes and Qin Tian gains points for successfully creating a bomb. Seeing that the explosion is not powerful, they wonder how much black powder should be put into the bomb. Qin Tian claims he just needs a bomb that can scare off wild animals just in case. They later made more lethal bombs but were limited to only 3 days. Later the group starts cooking bricks and kills. Seeing that it takes a day to dry one, they gave up. They then decided to use wood and bamboo instead. The summer heat arrives and it is getting into the hardworking Qin Tian. He takes a break and drinks some water. He realizes he hasn't moved the potassium nitrate for a while. Now he then decides to use it to make ice. He puts a pot of drinkable water in a pool of water with dissolved potassium nitrate. He then starts preparing some raspberries. He pours out the water from the pot and discovers the accumulated thin ice. He tops it with crushed raspberries and the dessert is done. Ellen and Jessica come back and Ellen happily presents a grape to Qin Tian. Jessica claims that Ellen wants to surprise Qin Tian. Qin Tian then presents them with their reward. The girls are excited to see an ice smoothie. The girls enjoy the dessert, making Ellen feel like surfing in the ocean waves. Jessica wonders if Qin Tian used some Chinese sorcery to make it, but Qin Tian explains means that he only used potassium nitrate. Embarrassed by the compliment, Qin Tian suggests putting in some grapes too. However, the glutton is already eating the ice smoothie. As it is in order to make better ice, Qin Tian and Ellen make some pottery similar to a matryoshka doll. The new tools can be used to greatly improve the cooling and creating the ice will be more efficient. Meanwhile, Jessica is focused on making wine using the grapes they foraged. They make sure to cover it in tight containers or it will turn into vinegar instead. Jessica then checks on what Qin Tian is doing. He claims he is making fan blades, not the fan itself. However, he claims that it will be automatic. He will put it on a long stick and the other end will be pushed by steam from boiling water. Ellen suggests adding a condenser and Qin Tian agrees. Midsummer arrived and the group managed to improve their steam-powered fan. They made it to reuse the water being condensed. They also created raspberry popsicles. Our panda also got addicted to it. Ellen worries for Xiao Bai and Sand Eagle. Qin Tian suggests giving them ice as water. A storm suddenly comes and Ellen is worried that the boars will topple down their incomplete fence. Qin Tian shows her that it will be different this time because they have the bombs. Rain continues pouring down and the boars come out of the forest. Jessica has wanted to see this scene since she heard about it. Ellen wants to help too. Qin Tian can't believe how much the rain pours. He starts shooting arrows at the rampaging boars. Seeing that the boars are divided, Qin Tian asks Panda and Sand Eagle to take care of the ones on the left. The two pets start obliterating the boars. Qin Tian and Jessica start taking care of the boars on their side and find out that they are increasing. Ellen suddenly shouts to move away. She tells the other two to be careful as she tosses a bomb. The bomb lands in front of the boars and the explosion is enough to make them panic. The boars on the other side are also escaping. Qin Tian doesn't want to let them get away and starts firing arrows again. Panda and Sand Eagle are also doing their jobs very well. They come out victorious as the rest of the boars escape. Seeing that they killed a lot, Qin Tian knows that the boars can't reproduce for a while. Now he needs to be careful or they will lose their source of meat. With this amount of meat they will have food for 6 months. The group then starts focusing on strengthening their fence. During rainy days, during the 2 weeks of rain, they no longer worried about the boar raids. The island continues to experience the rainy season. Qin Tian wonders if the wine they brewed is now fine. The girls are excited but get disgusted. Seeing the insides of the pot, Jessica wonders if she brewed it wrong. Qin Tian explains that this is a normal phenomenon during fermentation. Qin Tian filters the impurities and presents their home-brewed wine. however it is too sour to taste. Qin Tian then realizes that they should wait a bit longer. He then tells the girls that they will make distilled spirits. He tells them how the distillation process will go. He claims it will take until the night before the process ends. Ellen arrives with brown sugar and baking soda. Qin Tian concocts something and after refrigeration he lets the girls taste it. Ellen can't believe she is tasting a carbonated drink. Jessica is reminded of Coca-Cola. A month later the camp is completely perfect with a grocery room, pottery room and washing block. Qin Tian is awarded system points. Summer ends without anyone knowing and Xiao Bai can now fly on its own. Qin Tian thanks Ellen for the clothes she made for him. She is glad after spending too much time making it. However, Qin Tian is too focused on functionality instead. Qin Tian plans to investigate the surrounding areas, especially the plane's crash site. For 3 days right now Qin Tian can do it with enough food packed in his bag. Qin Tian and Panda continued running the whole day. He finds a place to camp and uses Jessica's camping tents and sleeping bags. The next day Qin Tian arrives at the volcano he has seen before. It's a good thing he wore jeans because of the thick shrubs in the area. He notices Panda feeling unwell. It might be because of the smell of sulfur. Qin Tian tells Panda to wait for him and he climbs the volcano alone. There he finds a sulfur mine. With this amount they can make more bombs. He also checks the surrounding rocks and minerals. He doesn't know what type of rock it is, so he purchased an appraisal skill to check it. He finds out it can be used to create colorless glass. After finding a ton of ore and minerals Qin Tian camps for the night. He tries excavating the volcano's surface the next day but it's really hard, causing him back pain in the process. The Sand Eagle arrives with a letter from Ellen. She tells her to be alert and careful with love. Qin Tian blushes as he plans for his next actions. He then asks Sand Eagle to scout for him, and Qin Tian synchronizes with it. He needs to figure out the methane fog's duration. Sand Eagle reports that there are two-legged animals nearby. Qin Tian runs as he tells Panda to stay. He uses his superpower and asks Sand Eagle if he is getting near. He continues running until he finds people. A group of Viking-looking men is chasing a little girl. That's all for today. If you want next part, please let me know in the comments.